Welcome to Chapter 7 for Sports Business Management. We are in the Marketing Your Program. All right. So, again, developing strategic marketing plans. Um, Attraction is the first step in leveraging, right? Again, why do people want what you got, right? There's some type of attraction to it. So when we think of fitness, what's the attraction to fitness? You look better, you feel better, you're stronger. If you're an athlete, you perform better. You've been to the doctor's giving you bad news. They tell you if you work out, you may see some improvements before things get worse. All those things are an attraction to a gym. All right. And again, we can talk about marketing for all kinds of different things in our industry. But again, this book focuses on fitness facilities. So we'll kind of go with the themes there. So again, you've got to figure out, how do we market what we have? Well, so the first thing is to let people know what you have and why they need it, right? So again, you want to list, you got to have a good idea who you are, what you're selling, and then how do we get that out there? Well, again, there's so many different ways to do things now, and there's a lot of very low cost ways to do those. So again, you can create a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a Twitter account, for free, and go about things that way, right? And so almost it's like grassroots marketing to an extent, where you create a little page, you put some pictures on there of your gym and people working out in there, and you get folks that are in there, you tag them in that stuff. And so that you get them to, the folks that are already coming, you get them to be friends with the gym or contacts, or depending on what platform you're on. They want their friends to see it, so they'll tag them. You can do it that way. You can buy some advertisement space on those platforms, which are relatively not too expensive either. And again, you got to decide how far out you want it to go, because again, if I own a little gym in Miami, yeah, there's people that might see it in Orlando, but do I really want to spend so much money and time into getting things up to that area, or out to like Los Angeles, where it's like, okay, are those people ever going to come really use my gym? So, again, it's marketing. You got to figure out, like, how far out does this go? Now, if I'm wanting to franchise my gym, and I have just one gym now in Miami, or maybe a gym in Miami and a gym in Fort Lauderdale or something along those lines, I may want my marketing reach to go further, because I may want to kind of see some markets where people are like, oh, that gym's amazing, I wish we had one here. And other people in the same area share the same sentiments. Well, then that may be where we start looking next, right? So again, we do some marketing research, right? So we want to look at things to see what's going on in different areas. Again, if we're gonna open up a gym, so say that I'm opening up my first gym. Well, one, where's it going to be? Where do we find space? Can we get a good deal on some space? Are we going to build something? Are we going to buy land, put a building up? Or we're going to take some existing space and renovate it, so on and so forth. So, and that's first. So we start looking around for space to build or to use or rent, or whatever we're going to do. Second, we want to see, is that space in a good spot for people to come to the gym? Typically, people either want the gym close to work or close to home, or close to both if possibly. So again, if you can build a gym where it's really easy for a lot of folks from their work to get there, it's really easy for a lot of folks from the residents to get there, that's going to be great. If you're building in an industrial area that's very far from where people live, you may not get a lot of folks that are gonna, one, you're not gonna get folks that work from home, or you get like a stay-at-home mom or dad, and those type of people typically are gonna come. Now, the other person in the household who works in like somewhere near there, they may go. So again, you're looking at different market. If you're going to do fitness stuff, or I mean, excuse me, sports stuff. You may want to be near like where there's sports leagues or teams or fields and things like that, so that it's close to where people practice and those type of things, or at least close. Again, that may be where you want to be closer to residential areas. If you're going to run more senior type programming, well, you want to be in an area that's easy for seniors to get to, right? So, you know, you're either near a senior center, you're near senior living, you may be, you know, like near where the senior center, like they do some drop-offs and pickups and things like that. So again, that's all part of marketing research, right? Needs analysis. All right. So again, you got to figure out, you know, what does the community need? What are your needs, and how do you match those up? Okay. So is this community in need of another gym? If so, is it a senior gym? Is it a sports gym? Is it a just overall fitness gym? Is it a, you know, is it a CrossFit gym? Is it like a musclehead gym? Is it, you know, what's the needs? What are they missing in that area, right? And then again, you know, is there enough of that need that you need to put your gym there, right? Trends, you know, so again, looking at trends, is this a good time to put a gym over there? Are there other gyms being placed in that area that are going to be up and running soon? You know, are you going to be competing with them, or, you know, or do you have very little competition? If you do have very little competition, why is that too? You know, is that a good or bad thing in that area? You know, so we'll do what's a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, and trends. And we run that to try to figure out how to create a strategic marketing plan, right? So marketing, a lot of times when we think marketing, you think of the advertisement or getting people to know that something's there, but really marketing is a good encompass of everything that has to do with the business of that portion, the sales, you know, like trying to create and maintain revenue and all that. Okay. All that kind of goes into marketing. Marketing is kind of an end all, or not end all be all, but it kind of an overall encompassing term, so to speak. Competition analysis, again, you want to look at what's going on around there. Who are you going to be competing against? If you're competing against folks, you know, how do you come in? So again, say there's an Equinox gym. Well, are you an upscale place? Are you going to be priced in the same price range as them? Or are you coming in as like a UFit, where it's like, all right, well, we got Equinox here, but there's a lot of folks that can't afford Equinox, but they could afford UFit, you know? So are you going to create something more along those lines? You know, you know, and again, if there's not a more discount type gym, is there a reason for it, right? Are you even going to be competing in that area against them? You know, what do you have that's different or a competitive advantage over those that are already in that particular market? You know, what are you doing that's different? You know, what, you know, not necessarily better sometimes. Sometimes people think, we'll just do the same thing as somebody else, but we'll do it better. You can do that. But sometimes the fact is you got two fitness facilities, but sometimes the facilities are different. And the difference is what makes one more successful than the other, or it makes them both successful in different ways, right? You have different clientele because different clientele like those things. So you may have a gym that kind of caters to everybody. You may have a gym that caters mostly to women or old folks, one that caters mostly to men. You may have a gym that really focuses on obese people, right? Or, you know, maybe you work with adaptive populations, whatever that may be, it's just different. And if there's a need, that difference can fill that void, right? Again, identifying your target market. I kind of talked about this earlier, but what's the demographics in the area there? You know, what's the psychographics in the area there? You know, personality, attitudes, values, lifestyles, interests. You know, there's certain places that are just very active communities. And so I noticed, you know, there's actually a neighborhood that's just south of a major street where I am, or there's several neighborhoods over there. Every time I'm driving that way down this road, I notice there's people out walking and running everywhere. Again, there's a lot of good, sidewalk areas, and there's some parks and some other things that maybe contribute to that, or maybe that's just a demographic of people in that area tend to be a little bit more health conscious or something like that. And it's really not that far from where I'm at. Now, in my neighborhood, it's not that it's necessarily like everybody's like in bad shape or nobody gets out and does things. It's just you see it less. I used to live in New Mexico. And lived on the northern border. Small town I'm in, most people are obese and overweight and out of shape, and they don't take good care of themselves. Now you go 45 miles north into this little community called Durango, Colorado. Lots of hiking, biking trails, whitewater rafting, and people are always out and about doing things. Again, if you look at the physicality of the people from that town versus the town I come from, most of them are in a lot better shape. Everybody's out and outside and about. Even the gyms there probably do better. And again, it's a different mindset. So it's more that psychographics, right? You know, there's different programs that target things. So you got program Silver Sneakers, which targets older folks. Secondary target like Gen X. You know, you have those that the target, you know, you may target certain markets. You know, like there's some gyms that are known for like really helping people like focus on their performance. So, you know, they may be more sports minded gyms, so on and so forth, right? So again, you want to define your marketing goals and your objectives. So again, if I'm going to create a sports-minded place that's going to target mostly young athletes, and we're going to help them try to achieve their athletic goals, you know, everything I do's got to be with that in mind, right? Again, we define goals by using the SMART method, the specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timeliness, right? So we want to define our goals. We don't want to have lofty goals and it's like, okay, well, what's our goal? Oh, we want to have a lot of clients. Okay, how do we want to do that? Don't know, right? You need to have some specific ways that you can measure those things, attain them, that they're realistic, and you have to have time frames of certain goals that you want to hit at certain times. Other things to understand is customer relation management, CRM. Helps fitness managers identify target organizations' best customers. So again, you know, like when you have folks in, you can use software. Again, you can kind of go through and look at, you know, who's our repeat customers? Why do they like it? And so on and so forth. How did we reach them to begin with, and why are we keeping them, right? And when you can identify those things, it helps you to identify what type of clients really will do well at your facility and want to come and spend their money and keep spending their money there, right? And will help you if you can identify more of those clients. So where you found these clients, can you find more of those clients? Is there a way to find more of those clients and let them know what you got? Data-driven marketing. Again, you're going to, you know, look at who, when, where, and what the message is. How's it reaching certain people? How are they reacting to it? You know, people coming in, you know, what's the data? What are your demographics of folks that are coming in? What are your demographics of folks that stick around, and so on and so forth, right? So you know, you kind of gets into CRM, but we're going to actually look at the hard numbers with it. Planning the company brand and program brand, right? So again, you look at companies like Nike, right? They, you know, how do they brand themselves versus companies like Under Armour? How does Equinox brand itself against companies like Planet Fitness, right? Again, what's the mission of the company? What's their corporate social responsibility initiatives? You know, You know, if you give to charities and things like that, do you have like specific charities that sort of are still part of your mission? So again, if you're a sports minded place, do you give back to local sports leagues or things like that, or developing programs for underserved communities that need more stuff like that? You know, what is it you do? Okay. Um, Company name and logo, right? Having a good logo is, I mean, it really is. Having a good logo is a good idea. Um, you know, you think about Nike. Everybody knows the Nike swoosh. You think about gyms. You know, if you're down here, you know what the UFit colors and sign looks like. Everybody knows Planet Fitness. It's got the little thumb, you know, that's pretty worldwide. Gold's Gym is a pretty well known. It's just been around a while. Equinox is, you know, the more you see it, the more you get to know it. You know, those are all things, and you know, branding is not only like the little symbol, but having like a color palette. You know, so like again with Planet Fitness, you know, they got a lot of stuff with the purple in it. Right, and so you sort of know UFit's got green. I want to say green and blue or green and purple or something like that. Um, you know, Equinox has got the black and white. You know, 24 hours got the red, black, and silver and white. I think it's got blue around their circle. You know, those are all things that help in identifying the company, right? And then the program name, right? So again, you know what the company symbol and the name, the more clever it is, and the more that just gets integrated, right? Even better. So like with Nike, you know, you can, you know, there are a lot of times you'll see Nike, you'll see the swoosh with Nike. Sometimes you just see the swoosh and know it's Nike, right? So sometimes having the brand and name together can be great. And sometimes your brand or your symbol for your brand can basically, you know, the logo can say it all without even having to have any words, which can be really great too. Um, Having a mantra, you know, again, we'll pick on Nike, the just do it, you know, has always been a good brand mantra for them. Um, you know, Planet Fitness, I guess their mantra, they kind of switch it, but it always has the same themes, you know, like they have the lunk alarm, you know, they have the no meatheads thing, the no, I can't remember what they did. The one they had the commercials for a while with the girls in the locker room, the gym intimidation. You know, they have a few of them. They all kind of have the same theme. Basically, they don't want, you know, two things. They don't want fit people that are really into fitness, and they also don't want the whole gym intimidation is kind of probably the main theme that they have, where they want folks that are like not in great shape to feel comfortable in there and not feel like, you know, like some dude or some girl that's in like incredible shape is going to look them up and down and give them like the, like, what are you doing here? You don't look like you belong here type of thing. Social media marketing. To be honest, we're not even talking much about I don't see why people would do television marketing anymore with expensive as it is. Um, Social media. I mean, you know, again, you can create your own ads that go on there. So again, you could do TV commercials on those, and again, pay a fraction of the price for them to air on social media. You know, you can have them where like somebody's watching a YouTube video and it's got a little, you know, like you got to watch this advertisement for like 10 seconds or whatever. You know, a lot of those, even though you'll pay for those, they're still a fraction of the cost of what marketing ads used to. Um, and then the social media, I mean, it's like I said, it's free. You create your page. You know, again, you go through the gym, you take some great pictures of some folks working hard, having fun, you know, your employees smiling and handing them, you know, like a towel, or like a personal trainer working with their client, you know, just there's so many opportunities. You can just post and post and post. You know, you may have a person that their job in your gym is the social media director, and they're just constantly on social media platforms. You know, they're on Twitter saying, like saying stuff going on in the gym. Like, did you know we got this going on? Da, da, da. You know, they're posting a bunch of pictures of Instagram and Facebook and, just bombarding, and tagging people, like making sure like, hey, Mrs. So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so, we got a great picture of you. You see this, is it all right if we put this on there? Again, you got to get their permission, and then say, do you have any accounts? We're going to tag you on it. So you tag them on it. Their friends see it, or they repost it, they're like, hey, look at me, it's great. I mean, it's really a whole different era of marketing that you can use. That, I mean, it's brilliant in so many regards, because the people coming in live and breathe and work and hang out with people in their areas, and a lot of times they're friends with those people on the social media platforms. And so when they are put on those and they repost them, and other people are like, man, like, dang, your gym looks nice, dang, your trainer seems cool, like, oh man, that place, oh, they have that, that's awesome, look at that, easy marketing, right? Easy advertising. Again, vary the content, again, don't do the same things over and over, especially if you're multifaceted. Don't do things over and over like it's always the same, right? So maybe sometimes you're posting different workout stuff, sometimes you're posting people having, like having a conversation, they're all smiling and laughing, it's not necessarily, it's showing them like post workout with their smoothies or whatever. That's different than like the workout. Maybe you post some group X stuff, maybe you post, if your gym goes out and does some community service, post some of that. I mean, just really always, keep it going. A lot of different content. If you have a great story of somebody's before and after, they first started coming there, now they're like 80 pounds lighter, and they got a pre and post and shows them with their trainer. I mean, those are all great things to put on there, right? Again, hold contests where people will post, like, hey, person with best picture gets a free shirt next time they come in, or we'll give you a 1 month free membership, so on and so forth, so you encourage your folks to post with hashtag your gym, or they tag the gym, so on and so forth. You know, so you have incentive programs and contests and so on to get your followers or your members to do that stuff. Again, post any, like have some good stories. Stories can include good like educational content on nutrition or fitness, sometimes from the folks that work there. Any events going on, any contests, like if you're helping the sponsor, you're completely running like a 5K or a lifting contest. Any behind the scenes stuff, so like, during coronavirus, showing your staff, keeping a cleanly area, or, doing some roping off or moving equipment around to compensate to, for the social distancing, things like that. Launching of any new programs. If you have any new equipment, maybe like have one of your trainers get on the new equipment and do like a little PSA of, hey, we just got this, let me show you guys how to do it. Not only is it nice and educational for the people coming in, but other people are like, whoa, that thing looks cool, maybe I want to go there, right? So again, this is some old data, but this is what they had back around 2012, that Facebook posts will reach 75% of its projected engagement within 5 hours. Twitter does 75% within about 3. There's a lot, there's a lot you can reach without having to really spend much money. Okay. Hashtags, again, making sure everybody hashtags you, or, having several hashtags that kind of sort of incorporate you are great too, right? So again, people can do the hashtag fitness, hashtag, like you know, like any of that stuff, you know, the fitness or getting in shape or weight loss and all that. And then also hashtag your place, because, you know, like using some of the alternate hashtags in all your stuff will get people to sometimes see them when they're on the fitness hashtag things, right? So then again, brings them into that. Again, you may reach more people than you want, but that's fine. And then always having your hashtag, you know, or if you guys have some like things that are kind of like inside jokes, so to, you know, not necessarily inside joke, but maybe like your gym's known as the, you know, like you got, like maybe there's a big wall in your gym that's just painted like bright red or something, you know, and you do hashtag red wall workout or something like that. All right. Those are great things to have in there too, and have your, you know, have your clients post stuff like that, you know, like not only hashtag, you know, like Bob's gym, but hashtag big red wall workout or um, big red wall fitness, and, you know, like something like, you know, like that. um, Again, create a social media marketing calendar. So again, you're going to have certain things going on during different times of the year, so you're going to push different things during those, and have that on your social media calendar. So as things are coming up, you start talking about them before, you talk about them during, and then you can do some recaps, right? So here's some great pictures from the event, right? um, so here's what they have as their 10 best practices. Identify and communicate what specifically makes your program or your gym different. um, Why in communicating your unique value proposition. So always start with the why. Master the art of storytelling in your marketing, right? Don't just like, this is what this is, you know, like, give some story, make it, you know, again, being able to tell a story with something makes it personal to some people, or makes them think like, okay, that could be me. Create and use functional social media calendar to organize your daily activity. We just talked about that. Always use bit.ly.com to shorten URLs, measure traffic, optimize links. You don't have to do that, you know, with the bit.ly, but some people like to use those platforms. Always use appropriate hashtags in your social media posts. You know, I've heard that time and time again. Craft attention-grabbing headlines for your posts. You know, it's one of those things that, like, you write certain things that makes people go, wait, what? You know, like there's certain things that grab people's attention, like, you know, like, you know, incredible weight loss. Huh? What? You know, and you could tell a story about somebody that really had a credible weight loss journey. Um, you know, how to overcome your fear of cardio, you know, something like that. Somebody's like, hey, that's me. Well, maybe I need to read that, you know. Um, Regularly monitor all social media analytic. So again, there you can look, again, especially if you have the business platforms on the social media things, it'll let you know like how many folks have visited your site, how many are repeat offenders, so to speak, versus new folks and everything else. You use live streaming video broadcasts, connect and engage with your followers. Again, if you're doing any type of like educational stuff, or, you know, you're going to show the gym, say you're about to open the gym and you're walking through and showing equipment, you could do like a Facebook live stream or Instagram live stream, and people can sit there and be like, oh, hey, what's that over there? Oh yeah, that's this equipment. Let me go show you how it works. You know, you guys have any questions? Oh, this is our smoothie bar. Oh, do you guys, okay, well, you know, do you make anything like this? Oh yeah, we can do that. You know, stuff like that. It's great because it offers interaction, rather than you did the video, then people do the comments, and then you kind of get back to them, and so on and so forth. Sometimes the live stream is really cool. Use data to drive decisions in all marketing initiatives. You know, don't just willy-nilly do things, right? Again, whenever you do your videos like live stream or your blogs or posts or any of that stuff, always put what makes you different, right? The difference matters, you know. Again, you know, you never neglect the fact that it's like, okay, yeah, we got everything that all the other gyms have either, but the differences, always make sure that the differences are known, okay? Always review your analytics, you know, so if you notice things are trying to tail off, try to figure out why. You know, okay, people aren't visiting our site as much, you know, because that can always be an indication that you're going to have less people coming into the gym too. So figure out, you know, like, okay, well, what were we doing when things kind of nosedived or, you know, or tailed off, right? Every year, write a new marketing plan. You know, we're going to, you know, what are the things that did well? Do them again. What are some opportunities for growth that you might want to add in, or you've seen other folks doing that? You're like, man, we ought to get into that. You know, constantly be looking around to see what's going on, what's trending. You know, are these trends you want to jump on, or these trends you don't? Will they be helpful? What did you do well in the past? What wasn't? You know, like, what do you want to do that's exactly the same, or what do you want to edit and upgrade, and so on and so forth. Okay. Again, we evaluate marketing programs through the marketing metrics. So what's the return on investment for the amount of marketing, you know, like budget we spend on it? What are your marketing goals? Again, you'll need to use those metric systems to kind of set that. Like, we want to have like 50 new visitors in the next week on our social media platforms, at least. You know, and again, you know, maybe look at like, how many visitors do we get on the social media versus new clients coming in? So kind of see if you can see some trends there, because that's where most of your money is going to be made. Marketing automation tools. Again, these give you all the different reports. Surveys. Again, remember, don't do long surveys, but do things like, hey, you know, what would you guys like to know more of? You know, what are some things we could do more post of? Or if you come into our gym, what do you like about our gym? What are some things we can improve? So on and so forth. Again, Google Analytics. If you know, you can see like how many people visit your webpage on Google, and you can do things to move your page up and down and stuff like that. Again, electronic surveys are a lot easier. You know, you can email them, people can take them, you know, you can put a link on your social media platforms or your website and stuff like that as well. You know, make them short and sweet and to the point. Again, you know, don't ask too many questions, because if it's too long, you know, it doesn't help, right? Avoid yes or no if you can. You know, use scales. Or you can do open-ended, which sometimes open-ended is hard, because if you try to put into data, you know, if you're gonna do open-ended, you know, you could do like one question in there or something like, you know, if you've been to our website, what would you improve about it? Or what do you like about our social media platforms? What would you rather see more of? Or if you've been in our gym, you know, what do you like, you know, what is it you like about it? And maybe one question about, you know, like what would make it better, right? You know, again, people can be as detailed as they want when they answer that. But again, if you start to see a trend of like, you know, say 50 people been in your gym, keep saying, you know, I wish you had one of these pieces of equipment, you know, and there's a lot of folks that share that sentiment, then that may be, you know, a good way to make a decision of, okay, well, you know, we got a budget, we've been wanting to buy a new piece, it seems most everybody wants this, let's get that, right? And you can get that from surveys. All right, that's it for chapter 7. See you guys in chapter 8.